really happening.
Alright guys, so this is going to be my official New Game Plus on Insane Difficulty first playthrough. It's going to be an episodic series in probably sets of 30 minutes. As you can see, I'm starting at kind of part 2 of the game, where you just get to the Nexus after Habitat 7. I recorded about an hour and a half of footage on that kind of prologue mission, but it was all corrupted when I tried to upload it to YouTube, so I wasn't able to upload any of that. So I'm just going to start from here. As you can see, my level is 60, so it's New Game Plus. Difficulty is Insanity, so... So for those of you that haven't started a New Game Plus yet, everything carries over. Your level, your skills. I haven't found out... Oh, yeah. It looks like weapons carry over too. So all your equipment's going to carry over. Your inventory carries over. Your skills, your level. The only thing that does not carry over that irritates me quite a bit is the cryopod points that you spend to level up your colonists. Does not carry over. As you can see in the upper left at my item limit, I had an item limit of 80 when I ended my last game, and when I started it dropped me down to 50, so now I'm at max capacity. So that will be something that before you start your New Game Plus you kinda want to try and prepare for by clearing out your inventory of things you don't really need. At least that's what I would recommend.
It'll be nice to see some friendly
the beginning of the game does drop quite a bit of high-tier weapons.
Means we can start waking
It might just be beneficial for when you are first starting out on the New Game Plus.
Welcome party.
You're expecting one?
After what we've been through, I could use a buzz.
We all could.
Yeah.
As far as my goal for this playthrough, I'm probably going to run combat and tech skills only. I like to role play when I go through. I just got to re-roll my skills from my previous playthrough. But so far, the insane difficulty is actually pretty hard. Like I said, it took me an hour and a half to clear the prologue mission. I mean, there's a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that, but the fights are considerably slower due to the increased difficulty. I haven't noticed that big of a difference as far as how much damage the enemies take. But how much damage they do to you is a huge difference compared to playing on normal on the initial playthrough.
Well, this can't be right.
It's like everything's on standby.
This gameplay is going to be pretty spoiler heavy, obviously, for those of you that managed to get behind my gameplay, but I really just wanted to show people different options for missions, side quest tasks. I have 100% completion in the initial playthrough, so I've done everything. So I'm going to try to title the episodes based on kind of what's going on in the game, so it'll make it easier for people to find the answers they're looking for. Plus, for anyone who's deciding on whether or not it's worth it to actually play a New Game Plus for the unlocked content, I'm going to try to go more into depth in the possible changes that I find throughout the gameplay. But we'll see if it's even worth doing a second playthrough on the New Game Plus at all. That's what I'm going to try to show you guys.
I'm Scott Ryder. This is Cora Harper and Liam Costa, part of the Pathfinder team.
I'm sorry for the confusion. Our sensors told us an arc had arrived, but Helios is notorious for scrambling equipment. We thought you were just another malfunction.
Well, I've got a shipload of people that says we're here.
Of course, it's just... you're the first arc we've seen. After a year of waiting and no sign of the others, we shuttered this area and stopped looking.
You've been stranded for a whole year?
Longer. I'll fill you in on the way to Op Center. Everything that could go
Oh yeah,
wrong
those
with our
are two of my
plan
friends that
arrived 14
are
months
having a
ago.
nice
Right
little
away,
fight
we hit a band of
right
dark
now
enemies
in
who
a
knocked
group
us off
chat,
course.
so you'll get to enjoy the commentary
You know why
on
we
that.
call it the Scourge. We lost whole sections of the station. A lot of people died. No power, no food.
The
chaos
Ryan
went on
Wagner
for
one
months.
is actually another
It
YouTuber, so
finally
you
led
should
to
go
armed
bug his
rebellion.
YouTube page,
When
the
order
Darth
was restored,
Ryan.
The insurgents were banished.
Call him
Exiles.
mean names.
Are things back to normal?
Not even close. But you're here now, so maybe the worst is over.
No word from the other Pathfinder?
We're here.
You guys go ahead. I'll check out the security situation.
You should know our command structure has been fractured. Some of us are filling in for leaders who died.
Is it true?
They said drop everything and report for duty.
And no one was expecting an Ark to finally show up.
Docking procedures are green across the board.
Stand by to merge Hyperion power into the grid.
I guess this is a good example of why you should leave group chats before you record.
Good luck.
I'm Jaren Tan, director of the initiative. You have no idea how much your arrival means to us.
We've heard about what happened, and we're ready to help.
We could use any supplies you have. Food, water, we're short on everything.
This is Foster Addison. She oversees colonial affairs. Where's the Pathfinder?
You're looking at him.
You're not Alec Ryder.
My father's dead. He made me his successor.
Alec is dead. Please understand, the entire initiative is at risk. None of the Golden Worlds panned out. They're a bust, and there's been no word from the other arcs.
What happened to them?
Unknown. Our supplies are nearly depleted. Rationing bought us some time, but even that's running out.
We need to find more resources, but that takes people, and we can't wake them up.
Until they have somewhere to live. A golden world.
Now more than ever, we need a Pathfinder.
It now falls to you, Ryder. Are you up to the task?
You're in trouble here. I'd say you need any help you can get.
We need qualified help.
That's no way to treat a guest. I'm Nakmor Kesh, superintendent of this station. Hope they haven't scared you off already.
It's nothing personal, but now isn't the time for on-the-job training.
At least the Pathfinder here seems willing to try. We could use a fresh perspective.
You've heard my concerns. I'll leave you to it.
We're all feeling the pressure. Let's have a private word in my office, Ryder. We'll discuss giving you a scout ship. I'm happy to work out the details with your associate.
Welcome to the Nexus.
Thank you for standing up for me there.
Hope's in short supply here. What little we can find should have a chance.
Ma'am, the Hyperion's core is now online.
Let me show you something. An hour ago, that was all dark. But with the power from your ship, you're keeping the lights on. You have my vote.
And when the power runs out?
You'd best go talk to Director Tan. Make sure that doesn't happen. And don't be shy. Come see me when you have a chance.
Taylor, where's that chat? The Hyperion is up to some tally of supplies.
You and I are going to be very
So yeah, the first few episodes are going to be pretty boring as you kind of
All right,
work my
what
way through
happened?
this,
To who?
which
To whom?
is what
And
it
your
is.
goddamn
So this
father.
is really going to be just
Sorry,
more of an
my face
announcement
is
video,
tired from dealing
I
with
guess.
everything.
But I plan on
And
releasing
right now,
one,
I just want to know what
like I said,
happened with
30-minute
Alec.
video every
Not
day
how
for
he
the next
died.
couple of weeks until I clear
I
the
pulled
game.
those logs.
I have 77
happened
hours
with
invested in the first
Pathfinder?
playthrough, so I
I don't
should
want to get into it.
know where just about
Things went
everything
wrong.
is.
And now I'm the one you have to deal with.
Alec Ryder wouldn't accept that kind of ultimatum.
Any
Damned
questions
if I
you do
would.
have,
We'd never have
if you're
left
stuck on a
home.
quest or whatever farther down the line,
Not
feel free
home.
just to put it in the comments.
Milky Way.
At any point that you
This is
see anything
this
or questions,
mess. We
and
don't
I
have
should
a
be
lot
able to
of
answer them
options,
pretty
Ryder.
quick.
Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Ryder?
It's Pathfinder.
Ryder, we're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people won't trust you. Why I don't trust you. Prove me wrong.
Engineering reports. Hyperion power draw is now at 100%.
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
Good. I was starting to wonder who was in charge around here.
Director Addison is entitled to her opinion, and mine overrules hers.
Does she know that?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the Golden Worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay. But you said every planet you found is unlivable. So, how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
Just point me to my ship and I'll be out of here.
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer. And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that.
Something wrong?
Ryder, please see me and Sam move on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah. Looks fine so far.
Hey, you okay?
So right there is one of the, kind of the hidden side quests that
My
you can
arms
get
got
for those of you
decrepit.
that haven't found it.
Stuff exploding
There's a
like this
lot
happened
of
often.
side quests in this
Back
game
right
that you
after
kind of
the
gotta
mutiny,
wait for something
we
to
had a lot of this
happen before
happening.
you can access it.
But not
This one you really just kind of gotta
wasn't
hang
there
out in the
during the
area until
Lucky.
the council explodes.
were done with
Once
this,
it does,
honestly.
you'll be able to get a side quest.
But maybe I was just being paranoid.
What is there to be paranoid about?
We've had 3 malfunctions in the past week.
That's not good. Sorry, understatement.
Yeah. And now I have more to bears.
Whoever's doing this has to be stopped before someone gets seriously hurt.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm an engineer, not a BI. I've scanned all the potential sabotage areas I can think of. But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion dock.
Yeah, I guess. Wait. That's it. You can't possibly be involved in this. You weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Sure thing. What can I do?
If you could scan these other panels while I fix this one, that'd really help. I've sent the locations to your Omni tool. Just send me the data when you're done.
Find out why. Be careful.
This is wrong. It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
Exile, huh? Guess it wasn't for having a hand in the cookie jar.
They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have. There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
So over here is one of the most beneficial things to the playthrough, in my opinion, is these Apex missions. It's a very good way to get your hands on higher end resources and weapons.
Something like that?
I highly recommend you download the app called Apex HQ through the Google Play Store. It basically allows you to access your multiplayer account pretty much at all times. I've noticed that it is kind of buggy and sometimes it doesn't work if you're in an area where you already have access to the Apex missions in game. But when you're planet side, things like that, it definitely works. It allows you to deploy your Apex teams at any time mobily.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
As far as how to do the Apex missions in the best way, as far as the equipment items go, don't always just buy the most expensive ones. You want to look at the effectiveness rating that they will give to your team.
It's rough out there. I might need backup if you can spare the
I've noticed that things like the night vision goggles cost a pretty low amount, like 175, and they increase effectiveness by 20.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
And that's one of the bigger bonuses I've seen as far as equipment that you can give to your Apex teams. So I would definitely consider spending a little time looking into that before you purchase any of the equipment that you equip to your Apex teams. Obviously golds are the best, but my level 20 team with a plus 20 effectiveness equipment still only has about a 50% chance at completing gold missions. But I don't have a lot of experience with it yet, so I definitely, if anyone has any ideas or you find any strategies for sending teams out, I'd be happy to know.
Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
Then as you can see, this is all the loot from the Apex missions that you send out. It'll gather here and it stores up until you have about 200 before it maxes out. So don't worry about doing a bunch before you actually go in and collect it. I'm not going to collect them now because obviously my inventory's maxed out, so it would be a huge waste of most of it. Mods take up quite a bit of space, so make sure you clear out your low tier mods on a regular basis. Otherwise you will definitely run into inventory problems. And my item limit is still too high.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanting to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them, but I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Like I said, the gold boxes are definitely where the best stuff is at. Yeah, about 1,000 credits in each one of those.
Please be advised that Hyperion docking procedures are now complete.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
It doesn't seem right to put all that on him.
Of course it isn't, but that's the perception. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
And you assume he's lying?
What's a lie to a murderer? Look, knock yourself out. The key witness Cassidy Shaw works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion are on.
Pathfinder.
This
The
is
cover
that
that the
mission
saboteur is overloaded.
from the
Power to this panel from another
engineer at the Exploding Council. Basically starts out all you gotta do is find several different councils, scan them, get him the information he needs. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit of a longer one. It's one of the several multi-stage missions
Scanning power
in the game.
This panel is malfunctioning. Without more data, I
But it's
cannot
pretty
determine
simple.
if this is a normal malfunction or sabotage.
All of the quests in this game that actually give you a marker as far as where they're located are pretty easy. The harder ones are when they don't give you a marker, like the tasks. A lot of the task missions don't give you any marker whatsoever as far as the quest location. Kind of just gotta trial and error until you figure out what you need.
Sam, it really is sabotage.
Any idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well, shit. Any idea where she is now?
Kellis is currently working on a panel on the Hyperion main deck.
Engineering update. We are working on accessing more power from the Hyperion. All non-relevant repair requests are currently on hold until power coupling is...
That doesn't seem to be working for me quite yet. I'll probably talk to the scientists, and then that'll probably be it for this
You must be the
episode.
Pathfinder. Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop. Lab. You know.
You are always welcome.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14 months.
But your data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
So that's another little thing you can do, is talk to those scientists. That'll unlock a lot of task missions throughout the game, mostly related to collecting things, and I guess this council's still not working for me. So that's probably where I'll end this episode then. Like I said, I'll be posting one episode a day, and I'll try to post any potential spoilers in the details section, as well as kind of what's going on in the title of the video to help people track down what they're looking for. You guys have a nice day.